Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to do or try out the current makeup trend, which is the foxy eye makeup look. So basically this trend went around and got popularized by Bella Hadid and Kendall Jenner. It's kind of dubbed as a supermodel type of look. So you have that 90s supermodel glam times two, or like a very updated version, if you know what I mean. So basically the foxy eye is where everything is lifted from the outside to the temples. So imagine you getting like a brow lift or a Botox that lifts this part right here. So a lot of makeup artists and hairdressers they take a section of the hair and kind of just pull it back really tight so that way you get that lifted look. Other people use tape to tape their temples backwards, but in this case we're going to use makeup. So without further ado, let's hop right into the video. My eyes are a little bit rounded and my brows grow kind of downwards. So to be able for you to get that look, a lot of people I've seen online, they shave the tail of their brows. Personally for me, I'm not gonna do that because it took me years to perfect the bushy brow look. So we're going to leave my brows, except we are going to put the highlighter on the brow bone areas, on the cheekbone area, and the areas where we want it lifted. For face primer today, I'm going to use this Maybelline Blur Stick. I have not used this for quite some time. I've stopped using primers because I don't really honestly see the point of them, and also it's currently winter in New Zealand and my skin has changed. I'm going to start out with foundation before we do the brows, because once we apply the concealer, that will help us identify where we want everything to be like fully lifted. So I'm going to zoom you guys in so we could get a closer look. So for foundation today, I have the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter foundation. I have nothing new at the moment. I recently just did a full face of one brand, so just keep an eye on that. And also my shade in this is 310. This is probably 2 shades darker than what I am currently on right now, but with the highlighting involved, that will help us perfect the shade. But I do love this foundation. I'm almost past halfway point. I know the last time I shared with you the foundation, I'm on like a halfway point, but I'm glad that I'm slowly able to go through a whole bottle of foundation. It might take some time because I don't typically apply a lot of foundation anymore, at least not like I used to, because my skin has gotten a lot better. So the way the brows work is that you basically lift the tail end of the brow. But because my brows grow all the way down here, I'm not going to shave them. Instead, I'm just gonna brush them and kind of fill them in straighter than usual. So outline the brows. And then instead of going downwards, I'm gonna try and pull it up. Just like that. Going to use this pulley to direct where my hair should go. There's a little bit of hair there, so I'm just gonna use the concealer to kind of conceal that. This side of my brow is pretty okay because it's not fully grown downwards, so I could manipulate it quicker, whereas this one right here is very prominent, that it has like a really high arch and then it droops down. So next, I am going to use a concealer, and that's where we're going to pinpoint where we want to highlight. So obviously we want to highlight this area right here. I want to apply all the way up to the temples because we want to create that very lifted look. I'm going to apply a little bit here, but I'm going to go that way. So we have everything lifted and it kind of goes like that. And then I'm not going to bring it all the way in here. I'm just going to keep it on this area. This part I have to bring it all the way down because we want to create that triangle that goes all the way out there. So if you compare this side to this side, my eye's already going upwards, which is what we want. And we are going to fix everything with a contour as well. With the foundation brush that we used before, I'm just gonna blend it slowly so we have a seamless blend. I want to create a guideline which will lift my eyes up using the concealer. That will help us create a really nice angle. And I'll just quickly apply a little bit of translucent powder before we start creasing. So I want my cheekbones to be a little bit higher, so I'm going to apply the contour above my actual cheekbones. And then I'm going to use a tiny brush to blend it. So I'm not going to contour this part right here because that's the lift that we're going to create. So I'm just going to slowly build this down. So if you've noticed, everything is lifted and it's going up, so then that's when we apply the setting powder. I'm going to bake a little bit, that way we can follow the guideline. And then I'll just quickly dust off my brush and wipe that away. I'm leaving the under eye a little bit because I want the bake to be a little bit more prominent. So while that's baking, I'm going to use my bronzer. This is the Model's Own Sculpt and Glow bronzer, and I'm going to apply that higher than usual. For the blush, I am going to use the MAC Melba Powder Blush, and again I'm going to concentrate that on the higher part of my cheek so we have everything lifted. So now that we have that face lifted and situated, I am going to start with the eyes. For eyeshadow palette, I am going to use the Naked Reloaded palette, and I am going to first start off with an angle brush and pick up this darker shade called Endgame. I'm going to follow where my eyes end and lift it upwards. So that would be a rough guideline, and then I'm going to do the same on the other eye. Next, I am going to try and connect that line. I know this side right here is a little bit curved and this one is a little bit straighter, but I'm going to try and match that. I'm going to fill in this inner part right here, and I'm just gonna follow my inner corner. I am going to grab a smudger brush and basically just smudge this line so we have like a smoke liner action. And then I'm gonna keep going up and slowly building that up a little bit more. And then I am going to pick up this shade called Buck, which is sort of a lighter shade, just to blend this out as a transition. And we're slowly lifting the shadow. And then I'm going to go back to Endgame to add a little bit of smoke here. I am going to clean it up a little bit, so I'm going to apply a little bit of the shade called Blur just on the inner part, to kind of clean up the mishaps that we did. So I basically want the concentration on the outer V because this is where we need to lift everything. So then I'm going to go back to the concealer and conceal whatever mistakes we have. And this time I'm going to use a smaller brush. And that's pretty much my take on it. Like, I'm not gonna do any more because I want to emphasize whatever the outer V is doing, and the inner corner is doing fine, so we're going to leave it like that. And I basically just use 2 eyeshadow, or 3 if you include the lighter shade. And so the next tip would have to be the mascara. So what we are going to do is to apply the mascara outwards. So I'm not going to put any mascara on the inner part of the eye because we want everything to flow outwards. And I'm not going to curl it as well because I have relatively long lashes, so if I curl it, it's very visible in the inner part of the eye. So what I'm going to do is to just apply some mascara and concentrate that at the very end. You could put false lashes as well, but I don't really like the look of false lashes on me. And then same goes for the lower lash line. We want everything to go outwards, so we are going to pull our lashes that way. And I want to intensify the brown a little bit, so what I'm going to do is to use the same dark brown with the angle brush and kind of tight line in here and also here, just to close the eye a little bit because there's some skin showing, so I will really want that close. That way our eyes are more shifted that way. And then I am going to go and use the shade Blur once again and apply that all over my brow bone because we want that super duper lifted, so we have an illusion of everything going up. Just gonna apply this shade called Bribe and mix it in with a little bit of Barely Bake and apply the highlight on this spot right here. So then you have an even more lifted look. So since everything is so matte, I actually like a little bit of glow, so I'm just gonna quickly spritz my face, and I'm going to use the Glow Recipe Watermelon Ultrafine Mist. This is perfect for adding a little bit of glow without having to put like a lot of powder highlight. And for the lips, we want to keep it matte as well, so I'm just gonna quickly apply this lipstick from XO Beauty, and this is called Deja Vu. I already applied lip balm underneath, so it's not gonna be super matte. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my finger. And here is my version of Foxy eyes. So my version is definitely so easy to achieve. You could do this with just a pencil liner and a smudger brush, and it still kind of resonates my everyday makeup look, except it's very lifted. And also this makeup look is great because you could really study your face and identify which part of your face you need to highlight and contour for you to achieve the foxy eye makeup look. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more updates. I hope this video has helped you. Also, you learned a few tricks that you could probably and hopefully use in the future. Please subscribe to my channel for more updates, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.